Cyberpunk 2077 features a ton of content that could be considered inappropriate for younger players, including, of course, a slew of bare skin and plenty of, romantic enhancers. But there are other, less steamy details that are no less noticeable to adults only. As with any game, Cyberpunk 2077 features Easter eggs that are not only there to please gamers who are eagle-eyed enough to find them, but also to acknowledge pop cultural influences, whether major or insignificant. Some of these references are best understood by people who have experienced the cyberpunk genre before, or at least understand the appeal of Sylvester Stallone. And no, we're not talking about Mortal Kombat 11 players.
You heard about me?
That your skills are formidable.
The benefit of being a specialist.
One of the Easter eggs found in the game has to do with a scene in 1993's Demolition Man, in which future cops in 2032 have to explain to Stallone's just unfrozen character that they use seashells in the bathrooms instead of toilet paper.
The place where you're supposed to have the toilet paper, you got this little shelf with 3 seashells on it.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
In Cyberpunk 2077, you visit V's domicile, where the toilet does indeed include 3 seashells. Another Easter egg references the red and blue pills in the Matrix movies from 1999 and 2003, which makes sense since Keanu Reeves plays Night City's Johnny Silverhand. Also, you'll see one clear reference to an influence of both Cyberpunk's creator Mike Pondsmith and Cyberpunk in general, Blade Runner. In a section of Night City, you can find a character and some wall writing that evokes the 1982 film's final Tears and Rain scene, in which the troubled replicant Roy Batty succumbs to his fate.
It matters not if you're dead, as long as you're doing it in style.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a huge, ambitious game with a massive amount of detail in a sprawling, open, explorable world. Developer CD Projekt Red clearly poured a lot of effort into making this game full of content in a seamless way that more careless players might not fully pass. For example, there's fashion. An official video from the Cyberpunk 2077 YouTube page calls style deeply linked with this history of the world and still important in every part of life. There are 4 different types: kitsch, entropism, neo-militarism, and neo-kitsch. Sadly, your choice of fashion doesn't seem to affect your cool stat, a combo of charisma and stealth, the way it might in real life. But that stat in itself is another little detail that makes this world both unique and thoughtful. Even the cars and vehicles have context and backstories in Cyberpunk 2077. The level of detail extends to the style of the car and how each vehicle drives. Every set of wheels feels different. Johnny Silverhand is known to drive a 1977 Porsche 911, which has been authentically remade for the game. Video game life diverges from reality in many interesting ways, some good and some bad. A particular idiosyncrasy of Cyberpunk 2077 that can be filed under things I wish happened to me IRL all the time is the fact that the traffic lights in the game always turn green as you approach them in your vehicle. Multiple people have noticed this phenomenon, according to several Reddit threads. The streetlights in Night City are apparently so well synchronized that getting around doesn't require you to slow down at all, unless you're coming up too fast or at an angle that the game's AI hasn't quite figured out. As gamers have pointed out though, this could mean Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't really have much of a traffic system, or its driving AI is imperfect. Some people have also felt that the realism of the game is negatively affected by this lack of a real-life obstacle. On the other hand, this can be very helpful if you're, say, hauling an injured sidekick to the closest Ripper dock, hopefully in time to save his life.
No. Okay, get to a clinic, now!
Mr. Wells' condition is critical.
Go!
While everyone marvels at the amount of imagination involved in the world building that's being done in Cyberpunk 2077, some may have missed how political it is. The stories that take place in Night City focus on power disparities in a dystopian world, broadcasting a warning about where humans are headed, as well as making a statement on society's current condition. Mike Pondsmith explained to NME, Cyberpunk is political, but it's not political in a blue state, red state, conservative, liberal way. It is basically that people deserve to be able to get a decent meal, live in a decent place, and do all that if they're willing to work for it, and not get screwed over by people more powerful than they are.
Cyberpunk isn't about saving humanity, it's about saving yourself.
Cyberpunk 2077's quest designer Patrick Mills also addressed the topic in 2018. He told the official Xbox magazine, "The original Cyberpunk 2020 setting was a complex critique of the author's world, and we don't shy away from that in our games. On the contrary, I think it's just one of the things that sets us apart. Cyberpunk is an inherently political genre, and it's an inherently political franchise. As it turns out, people in Night City communicate the same way people in real life do, through email. And as in the present-day world, citizens of the neon-filled future often get unwanted spam along with their important notifications. If you go to V's computer and check your email while you're at your character's apartment, you'll discover a few messages you can laugh at and then basically ignore, including an ad for a buy 2 tickets get 1 free raffle for medical services, a scam alert on enhancement nanogel, and a malware notice alerting the user to attempts at accessing their personal information. Sounds pretty familiar, right? Cyberpunk 2077 life might be set many fictional years in the future, but apparently the people in charge still haven't quite figured out how to rid inboxes of ads, phishing scams, and hoaxes designed to take advantage of gullible folks. Actually, since it's the corporations that run the place, they might even be the ones sending these things out. Think there could be a Nigerian prince languishing somewhere in the Cyberpunk universe?